Tanya from Royal City Nursery, and we are standing in the beautiful tropical house today. I'm actually sweating. It's beautiful. Now, one of the big questions we get, and one of the things we see people wandering around with in the tropical house are pots, right? So what plant pot or what house is right for our plants? Simple question, and there's a bunch of different answers for it. One of the first things you need to do is take a look at the pot. Does it have drainage? If the answer is yes, awesome. Most pots should have drainage, but you also want to make sure if it's got drainage that it's not sitting directly on, say, a wooden surface like your desk or your grandma's teak furniture, because that is not going to go well. You need to make sure you've got a saucer for that. So you can look at pots that have attached saucers with drainage. You can look at something like this one and do a clear plastic saucer, or you could actually look at what's called a pot cover, like these guys, with no drainage at all. Biggest difference is this one is going to be for the long-term health of your pot or plant, going to be a little bit better because you've got drainage. For the ones that don't have drainage, you need to keep your watering in mind, right? You can't overwater it. And then the next question is, what the heck do I put in it? Well, honestly, when you're choosing a pot for your plant, you need to figure out what your space is. So what color really moves you, what shape moves you. Start with your pot, and then we can start to figure out some of your plant life. Or better yet, what I generally tend to do is choose the plant I really like and then wander around and try a bunch of stuff. Right, so does it fit in that one? Does it fit in that one? Doesn't fit in that one. So when we look at this, by fit, what I mean is right now the rim of this pot sits above this. So no, this pot is not deep enough for this particular plant. It's totally awesome in that one. I'm loving that. And what I'm doing right now is something called a drop-in. So when I drop it, it literally just means I'm taking the whole pot and plant and I'm just dropping it in. Really, really easy. It means I don't have to repot anything. And most plants are going to be at least 6 months to a year before I need to repot it. So honestly, I kind of like the snake plant in this one. So we're going to keep that in there for a little bit. When we look at hanging baskets, so things like that one, or this really, really cool cactus, these you don't necessarily need to hang all the time either. And before we set up this morning, I was fussing around a little bit, but that actually fits quite nicely in that really cool butterfly pot. So if I'm going to do that, all I need to do, again, is a drop-in. I can leave it in the plastic hanging basket, and I just cut the hangers off. For this other little guy, I'm just going to drop them in just like that, right? Super, super simple. And again, all I need to do is take the hanger off, or again, I can use this as a hanging pot. So with my echeveria, the succulent here, this one is in a smaller pot. This is a 3.5 inch pot. So I need a pot that's got a diameter of 3.5 to 4 inches. And again, all I'm gonna do is drop them in and try them. See what works. I don't mind that, but to me, I don't think the color of this pot goes with that little succulent. So, hello. We lost our shorts there. But to do something like that, I think sized is a little bit better, right? So we're pulling some of the color tones out of this pot, is pulling some of the lighter tones in the succulent. When we're looking at some of the bigger stuff, the 6 inch pots, so this one here, again, as far as a drop-in goes, it doesn't fit that. It does fit one of these. Personally, I kind of like that. Now, with this, I can pot it into this pot directly, or I can leave it as a drop-in. Totally doesn't matter. It's whatever you prefer. So that works. And again, as a drop-in, it's in there. All I did literally was drop it in. Super, super simple. And then the very last one we're going to take a look at, where did they go? I looked at this one a little bit earlier. Awesome in the bubbles. Or if we want to do it in something like this, if we really like that color combo, one of the questions we get asked is, well, what the heck do I do with it? Right? Because it's tippy and there's space in between. If you want to leave it as a drop-in, all you're gonna do is cheat. So we're gonna take a tiny little bit of moss. Right around the top. And now we've got a finished piece. Ooh, get in there. And nobody will ever know. Makes a beautiful, beautiful little gift. But again, you want to pull the colors into your room, you want to make sure the pot matches your plant, and you want to make sure your plant fits in it. So I hope that helps. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.